5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're live. Karibu sana Meshach. Can take over for today's lab.
Thank you, Kelvin, for the chance. So I'll be taking you through lab number. Let me share my screen first. Yeah, I hope you can see my screen. So
yes, I can see your screen.
Okay. So we're going through module 6, which is a lab on introduction to EC2, introduction to Amazon Elastic Cloud Compute. So as obvious, click on Start Lab. I'd already started my lab. It's already running 9 minutes, 7 minutes down. So you click on AWS, you know the procedure. And yeah, my Amazon console is starting. So we have to set up the lab. Yeah, so we have the instructions here and our hands-on lab on the other side. So this is the overview. Yeah, accessing the AWS Management Console. At the top of these instructions, choose lab. Those are the obvious instructions to starting a lab on AWS Academy. So yeah, we start from here, task 1, how to launch Amazon EC2 instance. So in the AWS Management Console, in the services menu, choose EC2. So you can just come here, search EC2. Click on it. I hope we're doing this together. I'm not alone in the process. Verify your EC2 console is currently. Verify that your EC2 console is currently managing resources in North Virginia, US East 1 region. You can verify this by looking at the drop-down menu at the top of the screen to the left of your username. Yeah, it's here. US East, North Virginia. That's the region. So step number 1, how to choose an Amazon Machine Image AMI. So an AMI is basically a service that provides the information required to launch an instance, which is a virtual server in the cloud. And it includes a template for the root volume for the instance. For example, an operating system or an application server. It also includes the launch permissions that control the AWS accounts, which your AWS accounts can use the AMI to launch instances. And it also includes a block device mapping that specifies the volume to touch the instance. when it is launched. So, we're here. AMIs. That's on images. A minute. So yeah, we have the list of AMIs which we can utilize. So we're going to choose Amazon Linux 2 AMI. Let me maximize it. So it's actually the first one in the list. So you choose select. Then you launch AMI. So yeah, you choose an instance type, how you want your AMI instance to run. So here we are to choose the t2.micro instance, which should be selected by default. You can see it from here. It's already selected. And we're told that this AMI or this instance such as a virtual CPU, which is 1 GB of memory. And there's a note there, you might be restricted from using other instances in this lab. So you choose next to configure. It's there. So in configuring the instance details, so this page is used to configure the instance to suit your requirements, which include the networking and monitoring settings. So in the network, category, it indicates which VPC or virtual private cloud you wish to launch the instance into. You can have multiple networks. So for the network, you select lab VPC, which is the second one. And for enable termination protection, you select, yeah, it's here. Protect against accidental termination, which is there. So you again scroll down, then expand advanced details. So we have this field for user data, which will appear. So we are copying this command, which looks like a kind of a bash command, into the user data field. So we told that this script will install an Apache web server. It will also configure the web server automatically to start on boot, and it will activate the web server and create a simple web page. So you choose next, add storage. So Amazon EC2 stores data in a network attached virtual disk, elastic block store. So you will launch the Amazon EC2 instance using a default 8 GB disk volume, which will be your root volume. So choose next, add tag. Then in the add tag, in the key, you key in as it is, name, value, web server. And you choose next, configure security group. So in this step, in the security group name, you type web server security group. You can just copy and paste it directly. Then on the description, it's a security group for my web server. So we're not going to be using the SSH to log in into the instance. So yeah, we are done. Review and launch. Those are our settings. Then select launch. So here we are in this window. We're going to choose this, then proceed without a key pair, which I believe is the security key. And then select the box there, which activates the launch instance button. Then, yeah, we're launching the instance. Yeah, from here, you can see your instance is now launching. So after starting the instance, this is what we see. So the instance receives a public DNS name, which we can use to contact the instance from the internet. So we can view instances to check whether the instance is running and the state of the instance. Yeah, here's our instance web server which we created, already up and running. It's initializing. Let's hope it finishes in the next few seconds. You can refresh from up here, still initializing. Let's try again. It's taking some time. We have to be patient a bit. So we can just go through the instructions for the task 2, which is to monitor your instance. So monitoring is an important part of maintaining a reliability, availability, and performance of your Amazon Elastic Cloud EC2. So let's check again. Still initializing. Yeah, finally, for the status check, it's 2/2 checks. So in the next step, choose the status check tab. So with instance status checking or instance status monitoring, you can quickly determine whether your Amazon EC2 has detected any problem. So yeah, these are the checks which have passed: the system reachability and the instance reachability. So now, here they are. So these are the checks which have passed: system reachability check passed, and the instance reachability. We can also choose the monitoring tab, and the tab displays Amazon CloudWatch metrics for the instance. So we give it a bit of time. Yeah, the results are here. You can expand and check them. So these are the metrics from the, it's called CloudWatch metrics on the status of the instance. So we can basically check at them from there. So in the action menu, select monitor and troubleshoot, get system log. So is the action menu at the top right. So monitor and troubleshoot, get system log is there. So the system log displays the console output of the instance, which is a valuable tool for problem diagnosis. In short, if you want to know whether there was a problem with starting your instance, you can go to that panel and check. These are basically the actions which happened during the starting or initializing of the instance. So scroll through the output and note that the HTTP package was installed from the user data that you added when you created the instance. So you can check to confirm. Yeah, we have all this pertaining the instance. So choose cancel, which is at bottom. So in the action menu, we're also going to select monitor, troubleshoot, get instance screenshot. So here we are. Yeah, we haven't selected the instance which we created, which is a web server instance. So in the action monitor troubleshoot, we're going to get instance screenshots, which is now loading. Yeah, it has processed. We have it with us. We have a note here: if you're unable to reach your instance via SSH, you can capture a screenshot of your instance and view it as an image. So yeah, we're done. We choose cancel, and congratulations. We have explored several ways to monitor our instance. That's by checking the screenshot or the system log. So I want to know whether we're still together. You can show me with a yes in the chat box, at least to know I'm not alone, as we head to task 3, which is to update your security group and access the web server. So are we following? I hope I'm not alone. Yeah, Peter, I can see you. Also Mimi, Mother Rosalia. Peter, thank you for responding. So I presume we are at the same stage. We're still learning together. So yeah, task 3, update in the security group and access the web server, script that installed the web server and created seeing the web server and the contents in the web server. So here we choose the details tab. We're going to choose the details tab. Yeah, our instance up there. So after choosing the instance tab, we're going to details. Then we're going to copy the IP version 4 address of instance into our clipboard. Then we open and we just copy it. Then press enter. IP version 4. We just copied it. So we're pasting it here. I guess I have a problem with my internet. So we give it some time. See whether it's going to display anything. So let's give it some time. Yeah, I think we are not able to access the web server. So this is a question we are able to access, which is no. So the reason is because the security group is not permitting inbound traffic into port 80. which uses a HTTP web request. So to correct this, we'll need to update the security group to permit web traffic. So we return to our EC2 instance management console. Then the left navigation panel, we choose security groups, which is just in the network and security. So yeah, we select web server security group and then choose inbound rules tab. So inbound traffic. No, it's the web server security group, then choose inbound rules. So yeah, web server is here. Inbound rules. So we're going to modify these rules to allow inbound traffic. So the security group currently has no rules. We can check. Inbound rules. So choose edit inbound rules, then configure. Edit. So here we are. We have to choose type HTTP and choose the source anywhere, provided it's IP version 4. And then save our rules. So the inbound security group rules have successfully been saved or modified for the group web server. So we are returning to the web server tab that we opened and then refresh and see what happens. So we have this, just refresh. So yeah, our web server was simple web application is live. So congratulations, we've successfully modified the security group. So we've permitted inbound traffic from IP version 4 anywhere over the internet. So we are heading to task number 4, which is the resize of our instance. So as your needs change, we might need to modify our instance, find out whether they are overutilized and underutilize them, or if they are small, we increase their sizes. So if so, you can change the instance type. For example, if a T2.micro instance is too small for our workload, we can change it to M5.medium instance. So we're going to stop our instance before we can resize it. So we're going back. Back to our management console. So we choose instances. So here are our instances. So we select web server, and then in the instance state menu, we select stop instance. And then choose stop to confirm. So our instance has successfully stopped. We can try that the command we had by You can check again with our site is live to confirm. So William, where do you get to check the status tab? Yeah, our instance is stopped. Let me see your question again. Where you check your status tab, the status of your instance. I think it just shows it displays as a pop-up. Or again, yeah, from here, from instances, you can check the instance state. And from the different variations, you might just know the state of the instance. If it gives you an option for stop, then it means it's running. So you can just check that and confirm with us whether we're together. So we've stopped our instance. So we want to change the type now. So in the action menu, we select instance setting. Instance setting, then change instance type. Instance settings down here, then change instance type, then configure. So we're going to change the instance type, which was t2.micro to t2.small, then choose apply. Give it some time. Yeah, our instance type has changed from t2.micro to t2.small. And when the instance is starting, when we start the instance again, it will be t2.small, which is twice the memory as t2.micro. So there's a note here which says that we may be restricted from using other instance types in this lab, which is definitely a preset setting. So I think in the production setup, it will be a different case. So to resize the EBS volume, so in the left navigation menu, we choose volumes. So here we choose volumes. So in the action menu, we select modify volume. Give it some time. We're going to choose modify volume from the action menu. We're dealing with the web server instance, so we have to select it first so that we can execute more actions on it. We are modifying its volume. So the disk volume currently is 8 GB, which as you can see here. And then we're going to increase the size of the disk. So we're going to change the size to 10. 10. Then choose modify. And yes, to confirm. So yeah, here we are. So we're going to start the resized instance. So in the left panel, we select instances. Then in the instance menu, we have to start our instance again, which was stopped. So we're starting the instance and give it some time. So here we should be able to start the instance. Let's refresh and see. Refresh again. It's taking some minutes. It's initializing. But from the stage, it's already running. So we give it some time to pass the checks. So we'll be heading to task 5. And I would like to know whether we're still together. In the chat box, you can give me a yes or a Y, confirm that we're flowing together. I guess my speed is not so high for all of us as we wait for the instance to pass the checks. So yeah, are we still together? As we head to task number 5. We'll keep on refreshing, checking, still initializing. Are you together? William, did you get to check your status tab and check whether your instance was running or it stopped? Great, William. Okay. So I hope we are together. We in task 5 now. We're going to start together. Yeah, Peter, I can see you. Thank you. So we're going to start our task 5. And we're going to explore the EC2 limits. So Amazon EC2 provide different resources that we can use, which include images, instances, volumes, and snapshots. So when you create an AWS account, there are default limits on a per region basis. Our region is North Virginia East. So yeah, from the left navigation pane, we're going to choose limits. So from here, we're going to choose limits just below the tags. From the So we're going to select only the running instances from the drop down. So you note that there is a limit on the number of instances that we can launch in this region. So when we launch an instance, the request must not cause your usage to exceed the current instance limit for that region. So we can request an increase for many of these regions, which means these are just soft limits. So task number 6, we're going to check at the test termination protection, which you remember we ticked it somewhere. So you can delete your instance when you no longer need it, which is referred to as terminating an instance. And you cannot connect to or restart an instance after it has been terminated. So in this task, you will learn how to use the termination protection. So in the left navigation pane, we choose instances again. So from instances, from the instance state menu, we select terminate the instance. we first have to select our instance, which was already passed. Yeah, it was launching, remember? So we are going to terminate, not stopping, actually terminating. Yeah. Then select terminate. So we have an error here, modify its disable API termination instance attribute and try again. Let's see. So yeah, the error, we can see it. So these are safeguard to protect accidental termination in your instance. So if you really want to terminate your instance, you'll need to disable this protection. So in the actions menu, we select instance setting. So make sure first we select our instance, then the action menu, instance settings, then change termination protection. Then from there, we remove the check to disable check termination protection, then save our settings. We can now terminate our instance. So in the instances menu, you can check our instances. Our instance is still running. So if we check it there, and from the actions, we terminate it, terminate instance, it should be able to terminate. Yeah, we've successfully terminated our instance, our EC2 instance. So our lab is complete successfully with no major problems. So congratulations, we've completed our lab. So we're going to choose End Lab as our professional way of closing our labs, and then choose Confirm. And with that, we'll have successfully terminated our lab. So we're going to End Lab, Confirm. So from the chat box, we can just confirm how many of us have been able to navigate through to the end of the lab session and get an overview. How many have been able to navigate through? I believe we were not so fast. It took almost an hour. So how many have been able to yeah, it has stopped. So this moment I'll be handing over to Kelvin and give us a word or two. I think our time is almost up. We won't be able to head to lab number 2, module number 7. So that's it for today. Thank you all for joining me. And have a nice day. Have a nice evening. Yeah, we've just done lab number 3, Introduction to Amazon EC2. Thank you. Kelvin, you can take over. Kelvin, are you there? Mr. Kelvin. I presume Kelvin is kind of busy. We hope he'll be joining us. So we just hold on and see whether he'll be joining us.
Yes, Meshach.
Yeah, welcome, Kelvin.
Yeah, sorry, I dropped off the call a bit. Yeah, yes. So you're done with the lab?
Okay. Yeah, we're done with the lab successfully.
Wow, nice. Yes. How many hours were we complete? I had Peter, I had William. You're there running it. I don't know how many of us were able to complete
the lab.
Yeah. Abraham, Mimi, did you complete? Peter, William? Can say it in the chat, maybe.
Mimi, yeah.
Yes, Mimi. Good. That's nice. You know, the essence of having a live session is it's not good to do a live session. Then it's only the person running the lab who's completed it and others are just watching. So I really like to appreciate Meshach for the good work that you've already done with regards to the lab. I couldn't even have done it much better than you could. Peter, you're almost. Abraham, you're almost. Not yet. It's okay. You can still. The good thing is with the lab is once you're already started, you're given around 2 hours. I think the lab time, the lab runs a bit longer than the approximate time that you're supposed to complete the lab on, which is very good. So again, a bit of some announcements. So the first thing is we really need to really work with, the most important thing for you to successfully complete the course is that you need to complete the labs, and you also need to have done all the knowledge checks. And you cannot successfully complete the knowledge checks if you haven't gone through the videos and the content around a certain topic, whether it is fundamentals of pricing, AWS pricing, is it security, be it the compute topic. All those modules have those sectional videos, which you can maybe watch. I saw somebody say I think they had an issue with streaming the videos. I don't know whether it was sorted, but if you have any issue with accessing, I also have the PowerPoints, but we are not allowed to share the PowerPoints with the trainees, but I can still convert them to maybe a PDF and share with you if you're having issues with accessing any. Then again, I'll also be expecting that from those 10 modules, you can share with me the modules that you found most challenging, and I can do the modules with you. Like I can, instead of you watching the video of the trainer from AWS showing you, we can go through it together, and we can ask each other some questions on any of those. So you can look at where you are, because like right now we are, I think, around the midpoint. We are at now module 6. So I think we should be going towards the second last section, that is 7 and 8, 10, 9 and 10. So this is like a midpoint checkout. Just ensure that you're doing your module knowledge checks. You're also spending time. I think I saw someone who has already spent almost over 20 hours accessing content on the platform. That means that person is really spending a lot of time checking on the knowledge. I mean, on the sectional videos, doing the labs, if it is the labs, and all that, because the way this course and each and every other cloud or any skill-based course is, you can't depend on the trainer. You cannot depend on the live sessions. The live sessions are there so that you can run through, you can have this time where you can ask questions, and just it's just a flipped classroom model where most of the work is done outside the live sessions and outside the classroom. So again, I know many of us, maybe I think by the time when we were starting, we had around 100 registrations. By the time we had the first session, I think we had almost over 40 people within the first session. Then we went around to around 10 people. Then I think today we did it at around 6. But it's totally understandable because, not everyone signs up for something to complete it. But I believe each and every one of you who is on this session today, or maybe listening on YouTube later on if you missed the session, is that you have the passion and you have what it takes to complete. The moment you are here within the 3rd week and you are still at it, be sure that you are going to complete the code. First of all, you're going to be entitled to a 50% discount. Again, I told you, like, once you're able to do this course, you can disseminate the same knowledge to your peers. It's not that it ends with you. You can also do that. You're going to be part of of our AWS community, and you're going to do more sessions. Now, after that, learning never stops with the course. Once you are in this for life, because you're going to always learn something. So you're going to organize even sessions with engineers who are working in AWS, or they're applying AWS in their organization. So I'm going to organize this. I'm already in a community where I'm meeting all these people. All these great people are doing great things from all over the world, and I'll share that with you. But I can only share that with you if you already have the willpower and you also already are really interested in being a cloud engineer or a solutions architect, and all that comes with becoming or learning about cloud, be it AWS, Azure, GCP, or Alibaba Cloud, name them. So, unless maybe there's any question directed towards me, I think maybe we can close the session. Again, I really like to apologize for starting a bit late. I had a CCNA class, and the CCNA class was on subnetting. It was a lot of math, and I think I lost track of time as I was teaching that, because there was a lot of questions from the students that are also teaching that networking. So again, thanks so much, Mesha, for reaching out and just confirming whether the class is on or not, because it always is, as long as I have not communicated early enough. Because if there is a session that would not happen, or maybe would be have to be postponed, I would actually communicate. Again, tomorrow we might do another lab, but it might be different from the knowledge. I can check whether I already have gotten access to Cloud Academy, and we can run some of the scenario labs that are there. Again, I think each and every one of you, if all of you who are here today, you can tell me, then I can add you to the Academy Learner Lab. To the Academy Learner Lab, you're going to be given $100 worth of AWS credit, not money, AWS credit, where you can do persistent labs. So what that means is when you initiate an EC2 instance, it's going to be persistent for as long as long as the lab is on, for as long as that course is on in the platform, which is quite a while. And you can use your $100 to access any service, AWS service, to test them out, the S3 bucket, all those, the storage, the compute, the CloudFront, all those services, you can access them, and you're going to be tracking how much you're spending. So that is different from the labs, because for the labs, once the timer is over, all that you've done is destroyed, or it is lost. You've just done it, but it is not persistent on the AWS system. But with AWS Academy Learner Lab, you're going to, each of you be given that $100 worth of credit, which you can use for all your learning. You can do any lab. You can even do a lab that is an AWS lab that is not within AWS Academy. You can just test out services that require money, and your AWS credit is going to cover that cost. So what I'll require is just on WhatsApp, on DM me, just DM me your email, and I'll directly add you to the Academy Learner Lab course within the Canvas platform, where you're going to be automatically assigned your $100. You can go to the next level and create persistent objects or persistent tasks. Yeah. Unless there's anything else, maybe there's a question or a query, I think I'll leave it at that. And again, I really appreciate Musa for the good work. I think you deserve a token as well. Some people are talking. Yeah. So, any questions? Any questions from anyone? Any questions? So don't forget to send me your email. Don't forget to do that. Then I'll add you directly to that. I say that is, of course, I'm not adding everyone because it is your. Okay. Thanks. I think someone who says they're following over YouTube, and it is Lydia, one of us. So thanks so much for following on YouTube. I know you're a bit behind, but don't worry, don't be discouraged. Even if you are now doing your module 1, it is still not too late, as long as you dedicate time and be consistent. I told you I've already experimented this. As long as you spend 1 to 2 hours each and every day, even if you're not counting Saturday and Sunday, you'll be able to easily complete it. So the only thing is, don't try to do don't, it is like, if you're saying 5 days a week and 5 weeks, that is 25, and we have 2 hours, those are 50 hours. Don't try to do the 50 hours in 2 days. It's not going to really make sense. Or maybe in 4 days, the last 4 days you want to do the 50 hours. It's better to be more consistent rather than trying to just finish the course for the sake of finishing. So that's all I can say. Thanks so much for following on YouTube, and anyone is also going to follow our YouTube, and we also need to access the AWS Academy Learner Lab. DM me on WhatsApp, then you have a number, and I'll add you to the Learner Lab. Again, also another thing is AWS Academy organizes what we call an AWS Educator Jam, which is a very good. It's like a competition, like a Congress competition where you now compete with each other. You form teams. You can compete with other academies to complete certain tasks, such as EC2, use certain services. And if we grow, as we continue to grow, and maybe continue to learn in our respective institutions, we can actually compete. We can actually do that competition. I can actually reach out to my community manager, my academy technical program manager, and we can organize that jam. It's usually called an AWS Academy Educator Jam. So I think that is basically it from me. Sorry for taking a bit of time on that. Tomorrow we're still going to meet, and basically for tomorrow is going to be just an open AMA. AMA is just ask me anything. We're going to look at, this is the midpoint from module 1 up to around 5. Any questions that you'll be having for module 1 up to 5, you're going to try and answer them, or any lab, or if you want to know how to access the learner lab, anything that is regarding the course. It'll be a midpoint session, and A may ask me anything. And yeah, I hope it's going to be a fun session. It's going to run from just a 1 hour. It's going to be a 1 hour session from around 7 p.m. Oh yeah. So I think that is basically it. So unless maybe there's anything from any of you, maybe any comments, then we can close the session. If you have a comment, Abraham, Peter, William, any comment? Any comment? Any comment? Good. Thanks, Meshach. Okay, but I really appreciate how you've done the lab. That is awesome. So don't forget that, don't just do the lab once. I would advise you try to do even the first one, the one that we did on IAM, the one that we did on VPC, now that the one that we've done on EC2, kindly ensure that you do them not just once, do them even 3-4 times. There's no limits. AWS Academy doesn't limit you on the number of times you can do a lab. So do them until when you're actually doing it as if it's the back of your hand. You know the services where they are, how you can do this, the subnet associations and all those kind of things under VPC, how you can add storage, how you can do the termination protection, all that very easily. That is the only way you can be able to really demonstrate your competence in these skills. So don't do the lab once and think you've gotten it. Do it 2-3 times, even if you can even now even do it without even looking at the instructions. It means that you've really mastered the concept. Yeah, so that said, I think we can call it a session. Unless there's any question, let me check the chat. Good, William, thank you. The lab session was awesome, thanks to Meshach. Meshach has proven that he's one of the gurus with regards to doing the lab. When he was able to do the lab, when I was rushing it through last weekend, he was also finishing it with me. I already knew that is very good, and I think he really took us through the session on EC2 very well. Again, I really appreciate you for that, and I'll not forget. If I forget, remind me. I get you some token somehow for that. Okay. I think we can call it a session unless there's anything else. If there's none, again, the link is on my YouTube channel. If you didn't get it, I'll also paste it in the chat. Okay, just a concern. Can you use the credit to set up a live account? You can use it. The thing is they are persistent, and it's going to be linked to your, I think to your email, So the AWS credits are going to be assigned to you as per that. So, yeah, you can get the instructions. Suppose you want to practice on our own. So let me do this. Let us do the learner labs tomorrow. I'll show you. I'll add all of you, and I'll show you how to access. I'll show you how to access the learner labs. I think we can do that tomorrow. I'll start with that, then you can ask questions later. But don't forget to give me your emails beforehand so that I don't add you during the session. I'll have already added you so that you don't spend time adding people. I spend more time showing you how the learner labs work. And yeah, you can do it to set up a live account. I'm really not sure whether it's going to be too persistent or how long it will last. But again, don't forget that AWS gives you, I think, there's some free tier benefits for 1 year. Connected your credit, something of that sort. But the good thing is with the AWS Academy, you don't have to really go through that hassle. So don't worry, we are going to do the learner labs tomorrow. I'm going to show you how you can access and also practice on your own. And don't forget, the labs are available on the platform under modules. So you don't have to wait for the live sessions to access any of the labs, even the labs that are ahead of us. You can do them beforehand so that by the time you are doing it in the live sessions, it's maybe your second or third time when you're looking at it. Makes it even much easier for you. So you're not limited to go at the pace that we are in. If you are faster, if you feel that you can even get to module 8 or 9 next week, well and good. But the thing is, do it not once. Don't say you don't get to module 10, then relax. You're not going to be a star by just doing, by rushing through the course in one round. You're going to only be good when you practice these sessions. The same way, like right now, you don't struggle to access Microsoft Word and type a letter. And it's because you've used it for many times. You've not just used it once. So same case for AWS, it also works like that. So tomorrow I'll take you through Learner Labs, and I'll also help you set up those persistent practice playgrounds for your learning. And the good thing is it persists. That is the key word. Whatever you do on the platform, even if you log out, when you come back, you'll find it there. If you'd created an EC2 instance, you'll not find that it was deleted because the lab was for 2 hours alone or 3 hours, like in the foundations course. In the AWS Academy Learner Labs, you're able to actually do this. And it also has some instructions on how you can do it. So I think we meet tomorrow without taking more of your time, and have a nice dinner. If we're going to go and take dinner, I don't know which one is early. I don't know the difference between dinner and supper, but I believe one looks more classier than the other. I don't know, but I usually hear supper is the one that is taken early and dinner is the one that is taken later. But that's a story for another day. Have a nice time, and you're going to meet tomorrow. Thank you so much. Thank you, Abraham.